Hi everyone, welcome back to a new post today. Let's today start with discussion of the polity and governance for the week gone by for your 2026 preparation. A little bit of time spent to early prepare for these aspects of a week gone by will definitely save your time during the examination, and it will also help you in a quick revision as well. So what are the issues that have made news during this week from January 4 to January 10th? The very first is about Supreme Court now hearing the petitions with regard to the special intensive revision. We all know that the opposition is in conflict with the government because of this revision, especially at a time when assembly elections are going on, fearing the deletion of many names from the electoral rolls, though the Election Commission says that it has the legal right to do so under Article 324 of the Constitution, ensuring clean electoral roll for the election as well. There is fear that now this SIR, or the Special Intensive Revision, is mainly used to now weed out or to carry out the National Citizenship Registration exercise to actually delete names of these people from who do not have documents with regard to citizenship from the electoral rolls. So what does the Supreme Court say now? The notice was given by the Supreme Court to the ECI, which sought a response with regard to allegations of arbitrariness and also procedural lapses. Apart from that, the TMC, now where West Bengal is going for legislative assembly elections, alleged that the instructions were being issued by the ECI through informal channels like WhatsApp instead of formal written orders, making it very difficult to maintain an audit trail. And there are logical discrepancy concerns. Petitioners flagged a new logical discrepancy category used to summon the voters for quasi-judicial hearings over minor data errors like spelling variations, which they argue could lead to mass disenfranchisement. And in the Assam case, the court previously questioned the ECI for conducting the special revision instead of a full SIR, despite long-standing claims of illegal immigration there. Now, the Election Commission of India's stand is that it has a constitutional power to do so under Article 324 to ensure purity of electoral rolls and to prevent foreign nationals from voting. Senior advocates from the opposition says that ECI is arrogating powers to verify citizenship that actually is a task that belongs to the centre or the foreign tribunals, and that hurried timeline, that is 1 month or usually which takes 3 years, risks making genuine citizens stateless. Now, the scope of SIR, the ECI defended, is a drive to, it is a necessary tool against rapid urbanization and illegal migration, and also Supreme Court remarked that the exercise has to be monitored to ensure purity doesn't lead to disenfranchisement. Now, the states involved are very first was Bihar, where it was carried out, and now it has expanded to 12 other states, including West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, ahead of the 2026 assembly elections. Apart from that, in West Bengal alone, the draft rolls which have been released in December 2025 here showing the deletion of almost 58 lakh names from the electoral rolls. Government, now in line of the national education policy, which emphasizes multilingualism and also preservation of classical knowledge, has now released a 55-volume of literary work in classical Indian languages like Kannada, Odia, Telugu, Malayalam, Tamil, along with sign language for Tirukkural by the Tamil poet Thiruvalluvar. And the participating institutions in this are the Central Institute of Indian Language, which has now done the translation, along with languages that are covered are featured works in Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, Odia, Tamil, along with innovative series in Indian Sign Language, making it the disabled persons to go through these classical treaties. And inclusive innovation has been taken up, where sign language is now used to interpret the Tirukkural, aimed at making the Tamil classical accessible to hearing impaired. Major translations in Malayalam include the Sangam period literature, including Purana Nuru, the Pati Thru and the Pattu Pattu, along with Odia, which has Charyapada and Mandala Panji. In Tamil and Telugu, it is the Silapatikaram of the Sangamage and also Akkana Nuru. Apart from that, there is, as I told you, it aligns with the national education policy goals. Now, the case of air pollution with regard to Delhi NCR is now with the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has treated right to clean air as a fundamental right under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. It has historically pressured the government agencies to take effective steps with regard to this. The Supreme Court has recently observed that the victims of the poor air quality in the NCR are themselves indirectly contributing to the perennial problem. The court noted that the pollution sources are complex. They include multiple factors and are tied to everyday life activities and lifestyle choices of the populace as well. The CJI, Suryakant, who's hearing the case at the Supreme Court, observed that there are multiple sources of pollution, and therefore we cannot single out one source. A lifestyle contribution is also adding to pollution. Balancing act is necessary, which include where the CJI said that a complete ban on stopping all heavy vehicles construction is near to impossible, and it will disrupt essential commodities, housing needs, and also public in many other ways. It expressed its dissatisfaction with regard to the Commission of Air Quality and Management functioning and not notifying the timely data to the public as well. Major environmental cases of the Supreme Court which you need to remember are the MC Mehta Union of India 1987, which established the principle of absolute liability, holding industries liable for the damages from hazardous activities. The Vellore Citizens Welfare Forum versus Union of India, which declared precautionary principle and polluter press principle as integral to sustainable development under Article 21. The T. and Govardhan Tirumul Pad and Union of India, which expanded the definition of forest, which includes woodland areas, bringing vast tracts of land under stricter protection. The Narmada Bachao Andolan versus Union of India 2000, which addressed the large dam projects issue. The MC Mehta versus Kamal Nath in 2000, which ruled the public trust doctrine applies to natural resources. The MK Ranjit Singh versus Union of India very recently in 2024, which recognized the right to be free from adverse effects of climate change as a fundamental right and called for urgent climate action. And the One Shakti versus Union of India, which focused on post facto environmental clearance. Now, the budget session is going to begin from January 28th, with the Union of Government India notifying the dates from 28th January to 2nd April with a recess in the between. Article 85 and 174 of the Constitution speak of the President summoning, proroguing, dissolving the Lok Sabha and the Governor as having the same powers under Article 174. So there will be a month-long break after the budget is presented on Feb 1st, which is being the very first time on a Sunday. And after a recess in March, the Parliamentary Standing Committees will take a review of the demand for grants. Apart from that, let me tell you that the budget session will open with the President's address to the joint sitting of both houses of the Parliament. The budget will be presented by the Finance Minister. Economic survey will be presented before the budget, and the procedure includes presentation by the Finance Minister of the annual financial statement, also called as the budget. There will be a general discussion in both the houses on broad details. There will be a scrutiny during the recess by departmental related standard committees. There will be voting of demands of grants. With the appropriation bill and the finance bill being passed. The finance bill ends the procedure of passing the budget and provides money for the actions of the government or the programs of the government. Samagra Shikshan was the news. It is an integrated, centrally sponsored scheme of the Government of India, which integrates 3 programs. They are Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, and Teacher Education Scheme. It focuses mainly on holistic education, treats school education as a continuum from preschool to class 12, and it enhances learning outcomes, focuses on foundational literacy, numeracy. It bridges the social and gender gaps and supports disadvantaged groups, implements RTE Act. It supports National Education Policy 2020 recommendations and also promotes vocationalization of education. It strengthens teachers' education and capacity building, and it covers pre-primary to secondary levels, and it allows the states and UTs to plan intervention within the norms. Now, Government of India, Ministry of Home Affairs under the National Security Guard has inaugurated and launched the first ever National Improvised Explosive Device Data Management System, also called as NIDMS, and it is India's first national digital platform for systematic collection, analysis and sharing of IED and bomb blast data. It is a comprehensive database which will have the record of every bomb blast since 1999. It uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to perform pattern analysis, trend tracking and signature linking as well. Apart from that, there is interagency coordination. It provides a two-way secure platform for National Investigation Agency, anti-terrorism squads, state police, central armed police forces to upload and access data on a real time. One nation, one data repository is the aim of NIDMS, which aims to break down the data which is in silos now by integrating them into a comprehensive data with a single click access window. And NIDMS will be integrated with the Integrated Criminal Justice System and other national security grids like NatGrid. What's the significance of this? It will strengthen post-blast forensic investigation, predictive counter-terror strategies, facilitate faster, more scientific investigation and stronger prosecution by identifying interlinkages. It enhances India's overall internal security architecture by establishing a technology-driven intelligence sharing framework. And Government of India is now in talks for ending the President's rule in Manipur, which was imposed on February 13th, which was imposed last year, being now completing 1 year. So a high-level meeting was held by Home Minister Amit Shah and General Secretary Ministry of Home General Secretary. Having chaired the review meetings, the Manipur Legislative Assembly remains in suspended animation. What does this mean? It means that the elected members are still in place, but they cannot exercise their powers. And there is a centers attempting to bring in the Methi, the Kuki-Zo legislators to a common platform, but groups like the Kuki-Zo Council remain firm on separate administration. Under the Indian Constitution, President's rule cannot be extended beyond 1 year without a constitutional amendment or specific election commission certifications, prompting centre to explore options for government formation. Imposition of President's rule was on February 13, 2025, following the resignation of Chief Minister Biren Sen following a constitutional breakdown of Mishri due to prolonged ethnic violence. Also, Jammu and Kashmir was under President's rule until late 2024, and this ended with the swearing in of Omar Abdullah-led government. Opposition parties have called for dissolution of the assembly and called for fresh elections rather than continuing of the existing government. And in line with the mother tongue or the vernacular language, Malayalam language bill was passed by the Kerala government, which is called the Malayalam language bill, and it seeks to formalize Malayalam as a primary official language. Malayalam is being made compulsory as a first language from classes 1 to 10 in all government, aided and private schools across the state. It aims to establish Malayalam as a sole official language to use in government departments, education institutions, public communication. The bill proposes court proceedings for lesser offences at the district session court and state legislative documents like odd bills and ordinances to be in Malayalam. It uniquely focuses on digital localization, mandating the use of Malayalam in government-run apps and websites, and a bilingual policy has been mandated for signboards and advertisements in public spaces. A controversy, however, sparked due to the disputed Karnataka government, which urges the Malayalam, that argues that Malayalam being made a first language will violate the rights of the Kannada-speaking minorities in the border districts of Kerala like Kasaragod. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has clarified that the bill includes a safeguard clause for the notified linguistic minorities, including the Kannada and the Tamil speakers. And in notified areas, minorities can continue to use their mother tongue for the official correspondence with the government, now replies issued in the same languages. And the government maintains that students whose mother tongue is not Malayalam are free to choose from the languages available in the national education curriculum. Centre is now seeking comments on a draft pesticide management bill that will replace a 57-year-old Insecticide Act of 1968 and associated 1971 rules to modernize the regulatory framework. It provides for stricter penalties for spurious or substandard pesticides and proposes higher penalty up to 50 lakh and imprisonment up to 5 years. The bill incorporates digital methods to ensure transparency and traceability across pesticide value chain. All the pesticides testing laboratories must be accredited to ensure only quality assured products reach the farmers. There is a specific focus on promoting biopesticides and also products based on traditional knowledge to minimize environmental risk, and the bill provides provisions for the compounding of offences for minor violations and also monetary penalties for criminal and other rather than criminal prosecution. Now, the Census of India 2027 will start from April 1st, 2026, and the notification was issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs. It is also called House Listing and Housing Census. This phase includes numbering structures, and it is the first digital census to be held on mobile applications like Android and iOS, and it is for the first time citizens can choose to self-enumerate. This option will be available for 15 days immediately preceding the start of house-to-house listing in each state. And phase 2, that is the population enumeration, will include collection of demographic and caste data in schedule for February 2027. And the Supreme Court now has issued a notice to ask whether a notice for removal of Justice Yashwant Verma, in whose home burnt sacks of burnt money was found in the sacks in the guard's room. So a notice was already submitted to Rajya Sabha chairman in the last session. Under the Judges Inquiries Act, it permits a motion to originate in either house of the Parliament, that is either Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. A notice should be submitted by 50 members of the Rajya Sabha, 100 members of the Lok Sabha to the Speaker. Now it is the Speaker and the Chairman's prerogative to whether to accept the motion or reject it. If they accept, they have to constitute a 3-member committee. The Rajya Sabha was after Jagdeep Dhankar, the former Vice President, had resigned. The Rajya Sabha notice was not admitted by the Deputy Chairman after the Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar resigned. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla admitted the motion submitted to him and constituted an inquiry committee as well. Supreme Court now is hearing Justice Verma's plea to challenge the unilateral formation of a committee by Lok Sabha Speaker, especially when the Rajya Sabha motion was rejected, and the SC even orally queried whether the motion could be placed before the Rajya Sabha chairman. And now the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has now a live events development cell to support India's growing live entertainment and concert economy by streamlining approvals, fostering infrastructure, boosting tourism, creating jobs, positioning India as a global hub. They will have single window clearance for permits, fire, traffic, etc. This cell will coordinate with the center and the state for easy processes. It will work to improve venues and production capabilities, and it aims to add this sector to millions of jobs and boosting the tourism potential of the country as well. India's organized live events market is valued at 20,000 crore at 2024 and is growing rapidly. Apart from that, the sector also already provides 10 million jobs with large events creating thousands of temporary roles as well. And finally, to end the polity and governance issues for the week gone by, it's Piprava relics. These are the sacred artifacts of Lord Buddha, and they are now placed in New Delhi for public viewing. Discovered in 1898 in Siddhartha Nagar district of UP, they provide a critical archaeological evidence linking the site of Piprava to ancient Kapila Vastu, the homeland of Lord Buddha. So these were the issues I thought I should be discussing you for the week gone by. If you did, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video. I shall see you in my next video for the economy of the week gone by, and until then, it's very happy learning.